FlossTube, it's Cynthia. I am finally back again with another video. You can probably hear in my voice, but I have been extremely sick with a very nasty cold that I just really cannot shake. And so I don't even know. It's been over a week now, and I am feeling better, which is good, but definitely not anywhere near back to normal. So anyway, I just wanted to jump on because I felt like I was getting way too behind on updates. So anyway, I'm not even sure where I left off. As you know, I was working on Mirabilia's Queen Mermaid, and I do have all of the stitching done for my mermaid. So I guess I could show. I still have her on my hoop, but you can get an idea here of the start of all the beading. There is some more back stitching that I need to do, but I went ahead and did the back stitching all over her skin, which was a very large portion of it. And then I started putting some of the beads here on her little treasure box and her beautiful necklace and earring, and then part of her little crown. I even put one of the margarita floral beads here on her dress, and there's going to be two more. And you can't really see it very well because they're dark, but there's some beautiful dark beads going into her top. So anyway, she is a very, very beautiful mermaid. I think this is going to be absolutely stunning when it's all done, but I'm just not feeling the beading right now. I guess it's because I'm not feeling well, and so it just seems extremely tedious. So, but anyway, here's her tail. And I got into a nice rhythm when it came to stitching her tail. At first, I was not looking forward to those huge areas of the same color, but I stitched it vertically instead of horizontally, and that was really nice. It gave me more of a sense of accomplishment as I went along, so it was better than I thought. There's cat fuzz all over it, which again, around here is standard stuff. I don't like it, but that's what I have to deal with. All right, so let's take a peek again at the chatelaine. Before I show you the chatelaine, I want to tell you a little story. I'll just open it about here. I want to tell you a lovely little story about this. So when I first started my chatelaine, I gathered together all of the called for DMC flosses, and I got my fabric and I got the chart ready to go, and then I placed my order with European Cross Stitch for the silks and the beads. And while I was waiting for that order to arrive, I started the stitching because of the DMC. And really, this whole blue section and then the golds and browns that go around it is pretty much what I had finished by the time the package from European Cross Stitch arrived. And that was fine, and I was obviously excited, and you saw in my second video the little unboxing of that kit that I got, and everything in it, of course, was so beautiful, and I was very happy. So as I was admiring the silks, I was thinking to myself, I wonder where all of those colors in the silk fit into the pattern, because like I said, I had already stitched all this stuff, and I was looking at the colors of the silks, and I just have them right here in baggies. But anyway, as I'm looking at all these colors, I'm like, huh, that's funny. Those colors look almost exactly like the DMC colors that I've already stitched. Isn't that interesting? So then I was like, oh my good God, wait. You don't mean to tell me that the silks are what I should have been using to do all of these blues. And yes, it's true. So I was like, how the heck could I have made such a gigantic mistake? What's happening here? I mean, I've been stitching for 30 years, right? I should learn or should know more than that, right? So it turns out that in the paper chart for the Chatelaine, and this is the Watergarden, if I haven't already mentioned the name, in the paper chart, there's a page towards the beginning that lists, all of the called for flosses and beads and everything. And it isn't the key. It's just telling you the supplies that you're going to need. And on that written list, it had all the DMCs. And then if there were silks, the NPI silks, those numbers were written in parentheses next to the DMC number, And so when I ordered my kit, those numbers in parentheses were the NPIs, and they're the NPIs that I received. So then, though, in the back of the paper chart, there is the actual key, meaning the sheet that has the symbols on it that correspond to the floss or the beads you're supposed to use. So on the key, the NPIs are not on it. It only shows you the DMCs. So as I got out my chart and looked at the key for the symbol and what color it was, that's what I started stitching off of, and that's why I stitched everything in DMC first. So hopefully you could follow that explanation, but that is why I made that mistake. And frankly, I don't blame myself for that. I think it was poorly written, and it should have still had the NPI numbers on the key as well as on that information sheet. So that's my opinion. But anyway, so then I sat there looking at it thinking, okay, great. Now I have these 5 gorgeous colors of silk, and I've already stitched it in DMC. What do I do? Well, if you know me, you know that I'm not afraid of a little challenge. So I actually took, and I'm not teasing, it was about 2.5 days. I took 2.5 days to painstakingly pick out all of the blues, and this is just half of it, but all of the blues that I had already stitched, I carefully plucked out all of the DMC and then went back and restitched it with the silks. So officially now, this has been stitched in all the blue areas with the MPI silks. So it's lovely. I think it looked just as lovely with the DMCs. There's just a tiny, oh boy, I'm trying to make some comparisons, and it's kind of difficult. There is a difference as far as color saturation. So even though the DMCs are very beautiful and the colors are very consistent and it's a top-notch cotton to use for your stitching, even though all of that is very much true, the NPI silks that I used are just a little bit more vibrant. So the colors are just a little bit more on fire, if you will. And so of course they're gorgeous. Excuse me. If you didn't have the silks, I don't think you'd be disappointed. If you never even saw the silks in person, you really wouldn't care. But it just totally depends on what you want. Like I said, I got the silks in the kit. I wanted to use them. So that's why I went to all the trouble of frogging all of that work and then restitching it. That was a choice I made, and it's done. and I'm moving on and I'm happy. So that's all that really matters. But if you run into the same situation or whatever, just make that choice for yourself. You know, you're going to be golden no matter which way you go. So that's just my tiny piece of advice. So anyway, the other thing I noticed, because you know me, there was no way I was going to sit there with all those fabulous beads and crystals and not use them. So I, of course, decided to, the first thing I did is I attached the 5 crystals in the very center. And, you know, I just absolutely had to do that. They're gorgeous, and you can see I'm kind of twisting it in the light, hopefully getting a little shimmer off of the crystals. But they're very, very beautiful. And then I put the 4 little crystal AB ones right here. And of course, there's 4 more here, and 4 more here, and 4 more here. And then there'll be 4 more in this corner, and this corner, and then the other 2. That'll be all the little crystal AB areas. And then I decided that I wanted to stitch one of these little symbols here. So again, not being the smartest person in the room, I didn't really know what that was. So I pulled out the colors that it called for, and you know, it was peach, and then the pretty gold, and then just a random black. And so, you know, I'm kind of thinking, well, you know, that's a unusual color choice, but you know, I went with it. And so I'm stitching along, and I was probably stitching, well, I think I was still stitching the first one, and it suddenly occurred to me what I'm doing. This is a little tiny goldfish. Isn't that just the sweetest thing ever? It's a little baby fish. And the one black bead is its little eye. And then these 4 or 5 little beads right here are the bubbles. The little fish is blowing bubbles in the water. And then, of course, there are 8 little fish total. But my God, once I discovered that those were fish, I was like, oh yes, now I'm even more in love than I was before. So anyway, I stitched all the little fish, and I had a bunch of fun doing that. And I stitched the white beads here and here. And then there's some real pretty kind of a metallic aqua type color that's here and here. So I stitched those. And I mean, I wanted to just do like all the beading, but I stopped myself because I didn't want to get it too far out into the pattern. But anyway, so I did all of that. And then I did, I don't know if I had done these before, but I did all those fancy fan stitches. That's what I call them. I think they're diamond stitches on the pattern. But anyway, I did all of that stitching in the beautiful silk, and I loved the color variation there. And then these little corner motifs here have the beautiful Rhodes stitches done in that gorgeous, I think it's called Rusty Amber, but that beautiful silk colorway. So I did all that, and then more silks, of course, in the famous colors of the blues. And then this whole section here is going to be a flower, and it's all done in different Delica bead colors. And so I haven't done that, obviously. And then there's some little openings throughout the blue where there's other beads. And then there's, like I said, going to be the crystals here. And there's some greenery I started to stitch that goes here. And then here's the other little corner motif. And then this little tiny opening that's in each corner is going to be another little eyelet stitch or something. I'm not sure if it's an eyelet or what it is, but it's done in this color again. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to have to verify that before I stitch it, obviously. Now I'm being even more careful as I move through this because of the mistakes I've already made. But anyway, I still love it, of course. And when it's all said and done, it's going to definitely be the star of the show around here. So the other thing that I wanted to show you before I let you go is that I finally purchased my very first project bag. So I am really happy because for as much stuff as I have, I don't have any official project bags. I just, you know, I just stuff things into boxes or bags or just, you know, what random places. But this is officially a project bag. So I purchased this off of Etsy, and the shop name is So Much to Love. And these, or this seller is a recommended seller by Pam and Steph. So I think she has a Kit of the Month club, but I didn't want anything like that. I just wanted to start out with one bag and see how I do. So when I went to take a peek in the shop, of course, there were lots and lots of wonderful patterns and different fabrics, but then I saw the sunflowers and bumblebees, and I was like, oh yeah, that is me. 100% me. So definitely had to get this one. And you can see it has a little heart here. And I have not officially opened this yet. So please excuse all the crinkling. Set that aside. Okay. Oh my gosh, look how pretty. Oh, look at that. So sweet. Wow. Ooh, and I love it because it's really, it's very thick and squishy. So that is super, super nice. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Let's take a peek here. And of course, being the paper crafter that I am, I appreciate having the baker's twine. I'm a big fan of baker's twine. And I have a super, super cute little card in here. Project bag thanking me. Very nice. Jose and Karen Torres are the owners. And there's their Etsy address, somuchtolove.etsy.com. They also have a Facebook page, So Much to Love, Instagram, So Much to Love, and then they also have their own website, somuchtolove.com. So go ahead and check out all of those. All right, and then see how cute this little zipper pull. So it's a pretty piece of ribbon, and then you get this darling little heart. Oh my God, look at how pretty. That happy, happy yellow gingham on the inside. Oh my gosh, so nice. And really, really well made too. Well, this is amazing. I love this. Oh my gosh. You know, I have no idea how many of these I might end up getting. I suppose that I'll just keep my eye on her shop, and if I fall in love with another one of the patterns, I'll probably pick that one up as well. And because I mean, I have a lot of projects going, let's not kid ourselves, but I think that since I only have one of these very special bags, I think that I'm going to make this my Chatelaine project bag, because my Chatelaine is definitely very special, and I feel like she needs her own special spot. So this will definitely become my Chatelaine bag for now, and I love it. So anyway, that was pretty much it. You saw my mermaid, you saw my Chatelaine, I told you the story about the silks, and I showed you the project bag. So I think that's pretty much it for right now. As I said, unfortunately, I am still not over this terrible, terrible cold. So, yeah, if I'm feeling better, well, my God, I better be feeling better soon. But when I'm feeling better, I will be back with another video and maybe go into a little more depth about a few things. But for right now, I think I'm good. So thank you so very, very much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Hopefully my nasal voice wasn't super annoying. There's really not much I could do about that. But anyway, you guys take care of yourselves. I hope that you're having fun stitching wherever you are, and I will see you all again soon. Bye-bye.